All right, so I'm Eric Monis. I'm one of the fourth years, and I have the honor of roasting Paul Nielsen. And when you say Paul Nielsen roast, a lot of us think of the annual roast that Paul has thrown for us over the years. It's become kind of a tradition, and we look forward to his famous burnt ends. But I have a confession: this roast is not going to turn out as good for you, Paul. Be a little bit more accurate picture of Paul. A lot of you may look at Paul and say, well, Eric must not be very funny. Obviously, they gave him the easy one, and that's true. But did Paul always look like this? Well, unfortunately, yes. So this syndromic lack of prenatal vitamins was born on April 22nd, 1986, which is actually quite young as our intern, in Columbia, Missouri. And this was a little bit depressing for his parents, obviously. But unfortunately, they were comforted by a doctor, and they said, despite his, physical deficits, there's still a chance he may develop cognitively, So they kept their fingers crossed. Sure enough, as you can see here, he's sucking the hell out of that baby. Experiencing at normal age walking, overall milestone-wise, he was developing fine, except for socially. Here he is with all of his friends on his pontoon boat. Just for a great day at the lake. Paul didn't care, he didn't care at all. He said, I'm fine, just cruising through the park by myself on this bike. Unfortunately, it'll get smaller than normal. He's fairly short, but good God, and he came cruising around. So his parents were like, all right, what can we do? He's not making any friends. Con, his older brother, they're like, he resisted, but they said, you gotta start hanging out with your brother. So we did. And as you can see, early on, Con seemed to be smiling there in the back. He looks like he's enjoying himself a little bit. Paul's obviously enjoying himself sitting in the no-wake zone on the ski rocket 2 that he has there. Loving life. That didn't last very long. As you can see here, Con is pissed. He's had enough of this. Emotionally, physically, this is draining on him. His quads are killing him. He's spinning around doing 360s right off the dock as the pedal does. He's like, you know what? I'm out. I've had enough. I'm out. Sports. Maybe sports can get Paul some friends. But after Paul routinely beat himself at table tennis, his parents had their doubts. I'm going to get into some team sports. They said, you know what, Paul? Just smile. Be yourself. Maybe you can make some friends. Well, it's soccer. Obviously, Paul wasn't very good looking at him, so maybe the smile would get him some friends. Well, if you can look closely, secondary to the syndrome. His teeth outgrew his head like astronomically. The smile just scared him away. So, some of you skeptics may think, maybe this is just a bad photo. You're probably right. That's not his real smile. Maybe basketball. Get him into some more team sports. Maybe this shiny Missouri jersey would distract people from his smile. He was like, jokes on you. Jokes on you. Look at my short stature and my general lack of athletic ability. There's no freaking way I'm playing basketball. But he turned up a little bit. He said, you know what? I can rock a basketball jersey, but why don't we give it some pop? How about a fanny pack? And you are killing it, my man. Trendsetter right here. Pretty soon, celebs, fannies. He did it first, just so you know. How about other sports? What other sports could we try? None of these were working. Paul had a good idea. Paul said, how about riding pole? He was a natural from the beginning. Knees bent 90 degrees, he got the waders up to the knees. He's even got the reverse combo grip there on the hands. The greats early on in this sport developed that, and he picked it up from the get-go. So he began to continue to grow, mature, he got stronger. It really was not a pole he couldn't ride. No pole he couldn't ride. Here he is again, looking great. He became a phenom. A phenom, people. And this is when Paul really, got out of his shell, kind of started developing friends. His parents actually bought him a home training sit. So here he is at home, really working on his form. I mean, it's great. I think that's actually his mom there working with him. He really developed good form. He developed friends. There's a lot of people that he was able to kind of help, develop sport with, and he really became, started developing some good friends. Even his first love. And Paul's a smart guy. 2 is more than 1. Why not 2? So he didn't stop there. Got a lot of hand. But all in all, he learned a lot, from this, and kind of helped form kind of what he was doing in a relationship, and show himself later.
It's so true, too.
Paul continued to grow, mature in high school. Try football. I don't know if that's the name of your high school or your nickname or what, but I imagine it could have been both. Maybe you all had the Hickman shirt on. But football didn't really, it's a recognized, regular sport, so obviously you weren't very good at it. but not all was not lost. A scouting agent actually saw your photo and were like, you would be great on the big screen. So they came to you and they were talking to you about maybe playing the older brother of a kid maybe left home alone at Christmas. and you were thrilled. I mean, paycheck, fame, fortune. So you did. Paul was Buzz McAllister at Home Alone, and that brought him a lot of fame and fortune. It was, a big part of his life, and afterwards, he kind of, didn't know what to do with himself, so he said, I'm going to go to college. I'm sorry, that's not true. Something else happened, and I'm going to tell Jess about this, actually. So in my research of Paul, I kind of stumbled across something. He actually wasn't at Home Alone, that was a lie. Some of you that aren't smart enough to realize that wasn't Paul. But I did find this little, where are they now? So Buzz McAllister now, so we have the exact replica of Buzz McAllister then. So where will he be? A little forewarning. I don't want to scare you away, but watch out. So after that, Paul decided to go to college. So he stayed in Mizzou. He's a Mizzouer for life. So he went to Mizzou. He excelled in math and science, and eventually graduated. I think he actually graduated in like 2 years, maybe. Earlier than most. Something has to explain the fact that you're way younger than all of us. He was accepted in medical school, again, at Missouri. And there he met his best friend here, Harold. He and Harold spent a lot of time together. They partied regularly. But unfortunately, Harold had a heart attack and like a hip replacement, and they just kind of stopped hanging out. So he had to find some new friends. Here he is with his 4 friends on graduation day, and you can see there he's adjusted his smile quite a bit. He's actually smiling relatively normally. And that either is because of the fact that he finally graduated medical school, or the fact that he's white-knuckling that medical degree stick so hard he's reminiscing about his pipe ready to Either way, we were thrilled to accept him here at in Omaha, the University of Nebraska Medical Center. Here he is with his program director, Dr. Marmino, his fellow residents. And while here, he has been a stellar resident, a great friend, liked by all the staff, residents, nurses, patients. He's even, he goes out of his way to do nice things for people, and that's kind of where the pig roast came from. So every year he does throw this pig roast. He knows his way around a grill, that's for darn sure. As a true hick, he does know his way around a pig as well. I don't know what side that is, but so for the most part, the pig roasts have been a great success. We all have a great time there. 1 year did not go quite as planned. Nielsen decided he was going to roast a pig in a pit in the backyard for like 24 hours under rocks or something. Obviously it didn't work. Left him with a rotting pig carcass that we had to throw away. But like a true, decent hick, he buried that pig honorably in the backyard. So right behind the fence, there it lies. But that didn't get hauled down, not at all. He said, you know what, I'm good at that roast, and I'm going to be as good at the roast as I'm going to be at maybe throwing a wedding for my future wife. So he met Jess. He proposed to Jess. He's like, what am I going to do to give her the best wedding ever? So he watched multiple episodes of The Bachelor. He saw himself as The Bachelor. And like many of the proposals of The Bachelor, thrown in the backyard. He did more research. He's like, you know what? He looked up everything that he could on backyard weddings. Tons of resources. And he got a pen and paper and he wrote it down. He's like, I'm going to do this. He did all the streamers and abundance.
Okay.
I mean, 2x4s. I don't even know where you got all those. The fence is in good shape. As you can tell, the priest wearing the nice denim. He's got his priest glasses on, so you know that's the real priest. It went swimmingly, and there was a pig. So, but Paul was a little nervous about this backyard wedding. He's like, well, can I legally get married in my backyard? He had to look it up. And in the state of Nebraska, he actually found out through his research that you can't get married within 15 feet of a dead carcass. So we got out his measuring stick. Luckily, 16 feet. 16 feet from when they got married. So he was good. Your wedding is actually legal in the state of Nebraska. He made it up to her, however. Took her on 2 honeymoons. They went to the beach, they went skiing. So she promised not to leave him. But no, Paul, you've been a great resident. You've now been accepted to the Indiana Hand to Shoulder Fellowship, parentheses mainly hand. To become a hand weenie. So he's packing up the truck and heading to Indiana for his hand fellowship. So wish you good luck, man. Despite all the jokes, you were a true friend. It's been an honor to have you, teach me and be a resident of all of us. You're a good role model for everybody. And I wish you all the best.